India, right? So in 3, 2, 1, we're live. Good. Hello, hi everyone, and welcome to this new exercise together. This is the plan to do. So and then code, of course. So let me tell you a few words about why we are gathered here today in this wonderful evening. It's about cleaning some code up. So it's something that we must do every time, and I want to tell you more about the community that for which basically I share this and with which I want to solve this exercise together. This community of ours is called Bucharest Software Craftsmanship. If you are not with us yet, join us. It's completely free. And we are doing this stuff for quite several years already, and we have grown into one of the largest developer communities in the world that focuses on software craftsmanship. What the heck is software craftsmanship? You might ask. You never heard of that before. You only heard of agile and stand-up comedy and brainstorming. No, software craftsmanship. It's all about writing a simple design, right? Simple design, and the pleasure that we take to get there, but the pain that we have to go through to make sure we don't break anything. So unit testing, the feedback we get from unit testing, all with a single goal: to clean our code and to have a good time in the code and to understand the code of others and to leave behind professional code that others are not, let's say, that others are reading easily, that others are working with great pleasure. So, why are we factoring kata? Because I truly believe that the path to get to professionalism, to a let's say to a nice attitude, is to start by falling in love with cleaning code, with seeing different design alternatives, to brainstorm stuff, and super important for me. This is the first step, in my opinion, towards growing into a true professional. To really take a lot of pleasure into playing with the design and the ideas here. So, a few words about me. My name is Victor Enta. I'm from Romania. I've been coding in Java for too long. And I'm around looking into other stuff. But anyway, trainer for quite some years already. And I'm basically this is how I earn a living today. I do training and consultancies in different companies. And I have the honor to talk to very bright developers in many companies. So I get to learn from one company and share to the other. It's really interesting. It's really fun for me. So what I normally do is workshops on Spring, Hibernate, functional programming, architecture, domain-driven design, like clean code, unit testing. This is my main topic. And then performance, reactive, and secure coding. But my let's say my love will always be here. This was my first topic and my dearest. So today we'll do that in a meetup. As I told you, this software craftsmanship community. If you are not with us, join us. And we are also live streamed on YouTube, so if you feel like sharing what we're doing today, it will be on my YouTube channel. Right. But this shouldn't stop you from sharing whatever thought you have. So that's the main idea. The main point here, main goal. Let's try this. You tell me what to do. And if there is a silence of 5 seconds or 7 seconds, I will pick an idea from my head, right? Of course, if you want to be more in sync with us, I would recommend you join the Zoom room. So let's see if I can share you this. I think this is the Zoom room, if I'm not mistaken. I'm putting it on YouTube. Join us and tell us what you think about the code that you are about to see. So for those about to die, we salute you. Let's go right into this. But where is my, not Spring, reactive, webflux? Where are you, my dear? Clean code. Thank you. Good. Notice that I am in Zen mode. This is very important, so we should be Zen today. So this is like an anonymized code I once have the pleasure to play with in a workshop, and I wanted to repeat this pleasure with, of course, completely anonymized and stuff. But let's see. And I will be waiting. What do you think about this code? The game to play is like this. Pay attention. The game to play. The game to play today and maybe tomorrow with your colleagues when you do a similar exercise on a different sample. What could someone not like about this code? Right? What could someone not like? Or what could someone say about this code? Even safer, right? Not me, not you. What could someone? So what's the point here? Any idea works. So Zoom is full of 100. Ouch. That's a premiere for me. We have 100 people in the room, so no more room for. Oh my god, sorry. Next time I will try to find in a loop. Oh my God, yes, find in the loop. You are so fast. Find by UUID in a for each. Okay, and find by UUID again in, whoa, twice. And it's very similar, isn't it? Okay, so this is one thing. Many ifs in the else. Else is heavy by itself. Indeed. All right, method too large, yes, of course. Mixed level of abstractions. We are doing too many things at too many levels of abstraction. It's enough. It's enough stuff going on here. The screen is full of text. That's good enough. Not very readable, of course. Verbose, of course. So, but these are all what really will I think everyone would agree. We are doing a find by or UUID in a for. Now, let me focus just mutability. Yes, of course. Just now, let's take it the baby steps. For each. And then a lambda. A lambda. A lambda is something that comes from functional programming, I mean, like a lambda functions as first-class citizens. Interesting. And we are using a functional programming construct and doing for each. This is like for each. Some functional programming maniacs out there really hate for each. I mean, to them, this is the worst thing that could happen. Why? Because for each, returns void. Now, this is a drama for a functional programmer. Because if you return void, then in the lambda, you have to do what? It starts with S. 3, 2, 1. Side effects. You have to do side effects. You have to do changes to outside world. And functional programmers hate that. And then for each, yes. Oh, yes. This is written by someone who really wanted to prove that, wanted to play with lambdas, no matter what. So we are in a lambda, and then two parentheses for each. And I really hate that. So indeed, that the content inside is not a pure function. It's not just computing stuff. It's changing stuff. And we are still playing with this. All right. So let's give up for each and replace it with a loop like this. PS. Project service, of course. And then for each again, replace it with a loop. Good. Now, this code is arguably simpler. No, not so many arrows, not so many, all right? But what the heck is this? Why do I have to reference all this name? This is actually really from the original code. What do you mean, sir? Why? And then you notice, there is a service around also, Spring around, and Spring at service. Why? Why to make life easy to Spring to suffer myself? No, that makes no sense. So let you go out of the game and let me not use this long, beautiful this out. Good. So PS, project service. All right, let's see. Service is repeating a lot in general. Yes, indeed. Project services, a lot of services. But let's give it a try. Simple things first. This is a project. Oh, wait. I'm iterating to project services, and this is string. Extract lambdas in methods, you say. Yeah, but I don't have any more lambdas. I just replace them with a loop. Because technically they are not computing stuff. They are just looping. All right. Let's see. Project services equals to project user get services. Okay. All right. Let's see. Would that work? Why not? PS is terrible. I hope you all agree. PS. What's it? PostScript? What's that? PS. So why not project service? Or why is it just a string? And I'm equaling it with the name. So this is not just the PS. That's the project. What's that? Service name. Works? Service name. Service name. Yeah. Service name. So service get name equals service name. Okay. Come on. Any more ideas here? Anything that you see that could argue that is bad? Project services 1. I really love this. Project services 1. Wow. Get kills the project. Get will blow with exception if I don't find the user by UUID. True. So what to do? To replace it with? I know. Don't tell me. I know. It's yellow, right? So or else throws. Much better. By the way, the keys I pressed are in the corner if you want to repeat this. Or else what? Because the user over here is passed to this helper. I don't know what's in there. I wasn't ever given that code. Not the focus of this refactoring. No. You say to change to object equals. Where should I? Service get name is not clear. What service? I don't know. We don't have to know everything to understand everything. That's a service from the domain, right? That service has a name, and it should be equals to service name. Now, any senior around, anyone with scars, when you write an expression like this, what can go wrong? Reverse, exactly. No. So this is called null-driven development. Right? NDD. We flip the equals because null reigns the word. Right? Service name. To be perfectly honest, what told us that this can not be null? It comes from a list, right? So it will really be gross to see a null in a list. But yeah, this is better, less likely to have a null pointer, perhaps. Good. What else? Yoda notation, also indeed, Yoda notation. All right. Null different than null. What? Instead of null different than. Where is that? Where did you find that? Null different than. I don't find that. Oh, this, to reverse this, doesn't really pay up. Why? It's the same thing. I mean, you won't protect against anything if you just flip it. Nothing will change. No. Let's try. Let's read it from line number 1. If project user get role equals, and this is a highlight over here, whenever you enter in some old code, you alt enter with IntelliJ, and they tell you, replace equals with equal, my friend. These are enums. Okay, if you say so, good. So if project user get role equal admin, then project services, extract the main if and else in 2 distinct methods. Yes, we will do that, Bogdan, but if you do that just now, we will miss something later. But let's struggle a bit just to clean once the code. So I get the project user role. If the role is admin, then this happens. Else, this happens. Okay. First of all, I get the project services, get project services by project ID. Fair enough. Bit of services, project, but we can survive. This is project services, so I'm finding them by project ID. Right. Then, after I do that with my project services, I stream them, and I filter them to have the project service arrow, project service get project service status equal again, equal, subscribed. And with the corner of my eye, I see something similar happening down there. Any idea about this? No, we don't have tests. Today we don't have tests. Today we are living la vida loca. Today we do tarda. Okay? But no, I don't want to focus on design. With so many people in the room, there is zero chance I do a bug. So that name hurt my soul. Yes, I know. Get the subscribed ones in the query. That could help to find directly only the one that are subscribed, because the rest of them I never use here. Not sure about what happens in the other side though. I find by service and project. It could work. It could be more efficient to bring only the projects that are only subscribed by to start with, and status subscribed. I think that will actually work in Spring Data, but not that far. Small steps. I have a condition that repeats once and against one more on the same thing. Extract a method, exactly. I will make a method out of exactly this section of the code. And I will call this method, pay attention, this is a series of 2 chained refactorings. If any of you has ever studied martial arts, and if you ever learn to punch in martial arts, you know that punching is not just this. It's a combination of hitting and twisting. Don't ask me why, it's something with kinetic movement, but kinetic energy. But the point is, it's a sequence of 2 moves. The first move is to extract the method out in some, let's say, is subscribed. Subscribe, just a second, I have some background. How to fix that? I would ask you please to, oh my god, 100.
I did.
Go. Okay. So you subscribe with like that, and then I want to move that in the project services. Right click this, and using the best refactoring tool on the planet, I will say convert to instance method and say public, put it in project services. And I do that.
Who let the dogs out?
Done. And then done. Right? I'll just say, man, not calling my own getter, I'll just field access. Good. All right. And the same thing that I did over there, I will also do here. But you see, I did a mistake. Because now I have to manually change the code here. The best thing to do here is to Control-Z everything. Back where we came from, here. Control-Z, Control-Z, come back here. Control-Z once more, back to safety with equals. And now, once I see, while I still have the same exact text there and there, I will extract the method and I will expect IntelliJ to say, do you want to replace this occurrence also? And I will say, thank you, my friend, replace. And then when I do the change next, it will do it both places, of course. So instance method, move it inside the project service. Done. And of course, the same thing. So no one gets their refactoring perfect the first time they try, right? We all take iterations. When we find out that we take 3 or 4 steps and then, oops, damn, undo, humbly, go back, and then do that again. And here, this is just a 4-dot notation. Some of us are really, really big fans of this. All right, so collect to list. Okay, this proves that it's not Java 17, it's just still 11. Good. Project subscribed project services. A lot of text in there, right? How about subscribed services? Does it work? I wonder. Project services. Let's try. Subscribed services. Okay. 4. Project services. What is that name? Too long, right? This is the project subscribe project service. Subscribe project service get service. Yoi. And then the DTO. This looks like it can be a map instead of a for. Let's see. Why do you say that? Why do you say it can be a map? Because what? Because I construct a DTO, I set a service, and then what? And then I send it to some user to service on create. Okay. User service helper. You can do a map. Let's try. How would the map look like? Let's just play a bit. I could go from after this filter, just playing a bit, all right? Just allow me to play a bit. Because look, Mihai saw something that we are basically looping through this collection, and we are constructing what? This DTO, which is actually too long name. Let's just call it DTO. This DTO that will probably go out on the network to someone else. I do here, and I say send user to services on create. And before that, I fetch the user. Wow, I fetch the user. I fetch the user from the project user. But wait a second. Wait a second. Come on. Now, you tell me, what did I notice? What's wrong? What's completely wrong in this code? What's terrible and that should cause a reject of a pull request? You can call it once. No, you can call it once. You can call it a single time. Why are we calling this in a loop? It depends on the parameter. It's a so-called loop invariant. It never changes while I loop, right? So this can safely be moved outside. Damn! I just reduced the number of network calls by, oh my god, right? Boom. I'll tell you why it was that, because it was a for each and a for each, and then people were afraid to change anything in there. So this is performance improvement, pure performance improvement. Another DTO is instantiated and set the service. And what does this DTO? What happens on the other side? The DTO is instantiated and set the service. Interesting. Real fact. When I opened the DTO in that workshop, I really found just the service inside. Don't ask. Don't ask why. It was just this. I'm like, what the heck is this? What should we do here? Knowing that we only have service as a field. Come on. Look, a constructor, of course. So I should pass the service over here as a constructor argument. Thank you, of course, right? But let's start with the easiest possible way. I will let's generate the constructor first, like this. Good. Go back here and call the constructor by pasting this text inside. Good. I will do that also here. Baby steps refactoring, but what here is basically service. All right. Now, once I got the data into the constructor, of course, we don't need the setters anymore, right? But I won't delete it here and there. No. I want to be more. So look, first of all, I will say this setter over here. What's the easiest way? Nah, let's be honest. So DTO.setService here and here, wipeout. All right. So done. Good. Now, once no one else calls the setter anymore, zero usages. Yes. Project services DTO. Interesting. Interesting. DTO screams too much, you say, huh? Yeah, probably it's too much shift to hold down. We waste power on the planet. Probably DTO is better. Is the DTO really needed? I don't know. It's an API model. Yeah, I can't basically.
Can't touch this.
DTO. I can't mess it up. It will break some integration later. No. But the setter is not needed, so delete. And at which point IntelliJ will tell me, Master, do you know programming? Do you know that we should prefer to use immutable objects? Yeah? How do you think about making it final? Amazing! And now the angels are singing, right? Somewhere in the background, some angels are singing. Perfect. Today, there is no excuse in Java and any language basically to have mutable data transfer objects. Everyone knows to marshal, non-marshal immutability. Yet I never use. I only have a snippet of the code, right? I only have a snippet. I don't have all the code. Project services. Interesting discussion about the name over here. It's a single service. Why services? Good point. And normally the name of a DTO would never break anything. Should never break anything. The fields, the field names break stuff, but not the name of the structures. So we're good. The nested for just try to match services by name. Look who's been studying the code here. Yes, we will get there. Let's simplify the first part here. You said the map, right? So to get to a map, we could actually already write it. Can we? Can we already write it? I think we can. All right, let's do that. So if I stream if I only have the subscribed services, then I can map them here, like map, and say for every subscribed project service, right? For every project service, arrow, then I will do a new project service. What's that? DTO of this basically. Project service get service. All right. What I got at the end is a stream of projects. The end of everything is a list of project service DTO. Interesting. So this is like DTOs. All right. What next? Well, there is a debate here. I want to ask you. There is a debate I want to ask you. What do you think about this? Would you prefer to see a single map? I honestly don't know. I'm asking you, like as a friend, what would you prefer to see better? Do you prefer to see a sequence of maps, or do you prefer to see like this? Right? Do you prefer to see option A or option B? Which one do you love more? B. Let's see. Yeah, but from A and B, which one do you prefer? I see A slightly winning. A. Damn, this is what I asked because I love B. But okay, let's do A. It's your call. So map because we love so much method references, right? Okay. To be honest, it's a tie, almost a tie. Some people like A, some people like B. Oh, Sonia, it's my bad. I never expected so much people. I'm really sorry, Sonia. The YouTube will put the link if you want to join. In case you did not know the link, just a second, folks. Here, tell the people who want to join and can't. Just sorry. Next time I will buy that extra 5 package in Zoom. I didn't have that yet. So DTOs over here. I got all the DTOs that I produced here. What should I do next? Oh, there is an interesting idea from Teddy. We are iterating twice. We are iterating on this list, on this project services once, and then here once more. Interesting. Is it the problem? Can helper also be in a map? Technically no, because it doesn't return anything. This returns void back. This sends something out. So what should we do? Okay. All right, but look, there is a suggestion here. Exactly, Mihai. We could do, instead of doing to list at the end, we could do for each directly at the end, like for each, and say this baby over here passed inside as long as I start with the DTO. Now, user, what user? User is this user. Okay, to be perfectly honest, I hate this. It's a lot of chaining, too much chaining. I wasn't really a big fan of two maps one after the other. Now you put a for each at the end, just to kill everyone. Not fun. No. I won't do that. No. It's instead, I will use a technique called imperative shell functional core segregation. What does that mean? It means you don't do side effects in the same chain where you compute data. No. You leave the results, you collect the results, you respect the results, and then you say DTOs for each. And then you say user service helper, send user to this. DTO, arrow, this, without this. And you're done. And user, of course. And I prefer this form because now I can break in here, I can debug this, I can I have more freedom, and it's clear these are the DTOs, and then I send. I don't have to follow the whole chain of calculation to understand what happens in here to see the side effect happening at the end. For each DTOs, for each that. All right, a lot of things go on here. Okay, a lot of things. Honestly, if I were to choose between a for each and a loop, I don't know what to choose. Honestly, right? Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I will stick with the for. But we already get all the important information. What's there? It's easy to understand. Let's wait between the two. But definitely we did that also already. Okay. Let's look at the second part in the else. It goes very nice until here. Let's see. The for is easier to debug, you say? Perhaps. Static import for enums. That's a good one here. This you alt enter the enum type and you say add on demand for everything, which is good. All right, better. Let's see what we get here. Service is equal service. Oh my god. Service. That's okay. Service. All right. And then services over here is using this for. Okay. If service name equals service get name, then, and we are already in a for, in an if. Are you still breathing? Wow, Mihai, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to introduce here. No, tough. But here, string service name. Yes, and then if they match, someone said, I think, yeah, it's trying to match services. So what's happening over here? You iterate through the services in the database, right? And then you only pick those that have a name which is contained in the list of services for the project user. Okay, wow. Tell you what, for if the cyclomatic complexity, the cognitive complexity of this beautiful code is 24. This is like killing everything over 7 or 10. This is my little plugin, but you have Sonar also to tell you how bad the code is. If you run Sonar on this, Sonar lint, or if you try to commit it, Sonar will say, oh my god, don't do this. So it's very bad because it's very deeply nested. Interesting. What can we do? How can we redo? How can we flatten the code? How can we make it like linear, not so deeply nested? This is the code which gets the most horror to read. Any ideas? How the name of the plugin? Or if it's beta tested yet, it's live coding, but it's beta testing. It has bugs. It's like my inverse the if. What do you mean inverse the if? Intersection of the lists. Now you're talking more math. Put the services in a map by name. That's interesting, Matthias. That's a very good idea. Put the services in a map by list, Matthias says on YouTube. Interesting. Okay. And Robin, let's say they have a list of which has a list one in each object. List. You lost me. Stream map. Too much. Flat map. Okay. You all have brilliant, good idea, but I'm. Let's say, I don't have that courage that you have. So look what I will do instead. Everything that happens in this place over here happens for the services that match to the name. All right. So look, what if I create a list first? And the first thing I do, I gather the services. Because you see, the services is what I need inside the for, not the service name, just the service. So let me gather first the services. All right. I will say here matching services, or even better, user services. I will make it new, array list, like imperative coding, because I feel the most comfortable in imperative programming. And then in user services here, I will put here add of this service. Make sense? And then look what I will do, something dramatic. I will close everything. And then I will loop over these. Tell me, did I broke anything? If I do that, did I broke anything? What do you think? There is a key question over here. There is a question to ask first. There is a question to ask. Is this a set or a list? Exactly, duplicates. Bravo, Bogdan. Bravo. Why do you name your local variable DTO? It seems like because in my context, good question, Sumaila. The question is on YouTube, why do I name my variable DTO? Because it's too general DTO. But yeah, but in the context of this if, that's the DTO that I'm producing. There is no other DTO around. You see? It's clear. This is my goal. When I go in that context of the if, that's the DTO. If I had another DTO around, I will probably name it more precisely, right? So here, depending on what this is, if this were a set, nothing could go wrong because it's unique anyway, right? All right. Well, what can actually there could still be something wrong, but it's extremely unlikely. Extremely unlikely. The order in which you process the services might be a bit different here. All right. So you get a list of services. So you iterate through services in the project, and then okay, and then let's see. Can we do this better? Is there any any idea how can we improve this a bit? Service and services, and then through project users. Keep doing me and service name. Mihai, yes, this let's God said this is set. Unique, right? So let's play the game. This is the game. We are trying to brainstorm it. If they are unique, and definitely I asked the question in the workshop, and they were unique, guaranteed. These cannot have duplicated services bound to the project. So if these are unique, what can we do? What can we do? Ladies and gentlemen, I will do something risky. I will flip the line. Like this. Exactly, Kunal, that's where we're going. Exactly, that's where we're going. I will flip the lines first. Ask with baby steps first. And let's think now. Did I broke anything when I did that? Hope not. And then if service name equals, I'm iterating through the project user services, and I'm equals every one of them. And if they match, then all right. How can we rewrite this? If you still don't see it, let me help you a bit. Boolean matched equals false. Did I break anything if I say this? Not yet. But I run this if only once, because again, these are unique. So then what can I do? I can move this out. I can put if basically matched. If they matched, then add them. Make sense? All right. Isn't better to find the service by a name? It's basically I have the services from the user. I have the services from the database, and I need to get from the database those that match the services of the user. Okay, only those. Others will remain outside. All right. And now the IntelliJ comes in and says, hey, add break. And then hey, this can be converted with any match. Oh shit, boom. But this can get even easier, because what you are doing, you are looking up the service name in a list of strings, right? With a bit of courage over here, and probably a bit of tests, we could say this contains this. If it contains, then just look at it. Any match, an item that is equal to the service name. That's the same thing. Okay, good. What next? Well, we are getting closer. Let's see. What if I inline this? Hey, IntelliJ can be replaced with collect. What do you mean? Like, what the beef?
Gangnam Style.
Done. This is what you were trying to say 5 minutes ago. But I wanted to get their baby steps. Yeah, you saw it. Some of you saw it in the first moment. This is the user services. No more loop, no more just functional programming, computing and returning. All right, user services, and I only need these. I never need all of them. So we can do that. In a later stage, we could realize that I don't have to bring everything up from the database. I could say like find by services, find by name in Spring Data GPA will help me with this, and I guess with a bit of polishing we're done. But that's next stage. Right now, to keep in Java and not break the interactions, that will be enough. We can use a for dot in filter. For dot, what do you mean? For dot in filter. For dot. Collect to list for immutable list. Ah, right. If you want to get fancy, immutable list dot like this. Yes, right. And then you have immutable list, long live Guava. But we are getting into Java specific things for a language agnostic, because we are a mixed audience over here. Yeah. I don't think I can make it better than this. No, because I want to collect still service. I can't just map to the name and then use for dots. Project user has service. Now that's interesting. Let's look at that. Mihai suggested to create a method over here instead of this. Pay attention, which is called has service. Actually, it works. Why not? Let's do that. Let's see how it feels. I will click over here, extract this as a method, say has service, right? And then this method over here can be moved inside the user. Public refactor. What does it happen here? Oh, for that. Some would say this is for das mania. I don't know. But it is also readable, right? Project user for dot has service. It does use a weird syntax in Java, which we are referencing a method of an existing object, right? But I like it, honestly. If a project user is an entity, very good, Mihai. That's the exact question that came right now to. Is this a DTO or an entity? If this is a data transfer object, then probably I don't want to put a lot of behavior inside it because it's an API structure. It's not something I want to build a lot of logic on. Unfortunately, the project that we are looking at didn't have a domain model. Unfortunately, somehow they choose not to. So you see, the project user comes from this service. The service find door returns me. Oh, am I wrong? I'm wrong. This is a DTO. It's dubious to put behavior on a DTO. That's for sure. All right. Let's see next. For service and user services, fair enough. Then why one? Why in the world one? No, this is the kind of stuff that tells me that whoever wrote this code didn't really reread their masterpiece over here. So it's like you need to polish a bit the code. You can't just leave it the way it's left at the end, right? So I have a problem now. I can't zoom out. It happens. There's a little issue in IntelliJ. Just a second, please. View. I should exit Zen mode. Does it help? Nope. Then I will do this decrease. It's really stupid if you want. I'm sorry for this moment. This is that awkward moment in which. All right, it's actually a bug in IntelliJ, I believe. Anyway, so user services and then project services. Why one? Why one? Is there any other or what? Find by service and project. All right, and I get the service. Right, I get the project. What is the project coming? Oh, not again. Come on. Reset to 16 points. Oh, now it worked. Right. The project over here comes from parameter. All right, from parameter. Good. So find by service, which is the service that I'm iterating on, and then project. Project services. And then if project services is not null, oh God, this can give me null. Oh my God, null. This is the ugliest thing in this code. Null checks in the middle of the business logic. How bad is this? Right? I mean, this is so freaking... No. Options, of course. You should never have a function that throws data in the middle of your logic that returns nullable. Now, to speak in other languages, I don't want to see this in return types of this. If it's a method in the code from my core logic where when I bang my head to understand the behavior, I don't want to be fighting null. I don't want to be surprised by null. So let me go ahead and say optional of this. I should change that function to have it to make it polite and to warn me that this variable is now an optional. I can never forget this point. All right. What then? The equivalent would be is present, right? But the point of optional is just for me not to ever to forget to do the check. So if it's present and is subscribed, all right, then we will work this out in a second. You say not in plural. Project service says, interesting. And then project DTO equals new again. I have a, let's see what we say. We can only return a null optional. Yes, returning a null optional will make me come pay you a visit. I'll bring a friend. You never return null if you declare to return an optional. That's a reason to get relocate. No. So if project user get role equals view, then this, and then this again. Wait a second. What is this? how many roles are there in the application? And the answer I got was surprising. Admin, view, contributor, they say. Just this, three, yes? View, contributor. Folks, let me exit the Zen mode because I'm losing my Zen over here. Let's look again at this. If I put them on the other screen, on the half is, what happens over here? Let's look at the big picture again. Once upon a time, if project user role is admin, this. Else, this. So admin is there. Just a second. Do you see anything interesting here? Tell me. What happens here? Just have a look. And remember, admin is up. Then user is called always. If we add more items here, we might end up with bugs. Indeed, Alexandra, if the admin is handled up above in the first if, in the first section, and the else handles the other two, then my friends, what are we doing? View, and then if it's contributor, it's just like if I would say here equals contributor, right? And then wait a second, it's the same thing, right? So I'm passing the role name, and I don't need any. I was scared when I did this refactoring. I asked them, and I said, yes, it makes perfect sense. Oh, damn. But then you said, what if a new type of role appears, right? Well, it was a bug in the previous version. It would be a bug today also. So actually, it might actually be better now. So user equals user service found by ID project user. Again, not again. Please God, not again. Look, project service, project user is a parameter of this function up above. And I'm doing this find in a loop. Why in the world? Right? So we create peace and harmony. I will move this out. Okay. And then what? Let's see what we get, what we have here left. Wait a second. We're creating the same DTO, you see? But then what's the difference? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we're right. We are getting the user anyway, you see? This is the same. Perfect. So we can move this at the beginning of the if, exactly. To yes, perfect. That's a good one. Yeah, thank you. Good. What next? Pattern matching with switch here. Yes, but it doesn't help much really. But just wait a second. Okay, so service, and then optional, and then a weird condition. I'm not sure about you, but I'm not feeling comfortable when I see this condition here. I'm really not comfortable. And what does it mean? It means that I found the service that is bound to the user for the given project. I found the service in that project, and I might not have found any service. In that case, I don't do the if. If I found the service, then the service needs to be subscribed. Wow. Exactly, Kunal. That's exactly my feeling. We should. I mean, this is sufficient complexity to deserve a special statement, a special handling. I mean, let's see. It's the same, almost the same. Subscribed, but this is extra. This is extra. And again, the get service. No, not the get service. Let's see. It is something similar, but let's see how far we get. So honestly, for if. In this piece of, if I go past this if, I will say stop. Let's build an expression. So let's take it baby step, imperative style. What if I collect the results of this into what? Into a list of what? Of services, right? List services, right? Which is, what is this? It's like subscribed services. Subscribed services. Equals new. Some of you might say, go directly with Lambda. I don't like taking chances. So instead, I will take it super baby steps. Instead of jumping a lot, I will say in this if, instead of doing that thing, I will just add to subscribe services, add the service. And then I will iterate to subscribe services. I will do a for on that. And on that service, I will do this stuff. Breaking the for into subsequent processings. All right. And then, let's see if I get some help from IntelliJ on this. Project services equal. Optionals map. For this, you say optional map. It could work. Yes. Can we do this optional map? I don't follow. What to do here? Project services map is subscribed or else false. Let's try. So you say project services map is subscribed, right? Or else, I'm copying from the chat, false. And this is the condition. If this condition is true, then I add to the subscribed services. Makes sense. Makes sense. Not sure if it's cleaner than the first one. I'm not sure. I don't make the project services return only the subscribed projects. What do you mean to only return the subscribe? To move this. Wow, that's better. Let's try that. To have this method returning only the subscribed project. But yeah, that would mean I will change their API. Not yet, maybe not yet. I want to restrict the refactoring here. Filter, not map. Light teams. Why am I using light teams? Because I like the light. Because bugs run away from light. I don't know. Clear method name. Yeah, maybe. But look what we can do. We could wrap this up. Should we filter those on their side? Not sure what to do here. So look, let's try. I will first wrap this call to the external service in a separate function, and get by service and project. Get by service and project. Get subscribed service. Get subscribed service by service and project. First draft, and then inside of it, I will move. I will filter to be only subscribed. Let's see if I can do that. Filter is subscribed. All right. I only get subscribed projects out. And this, if I do that, I don't need to do this anymore. Okay. What next? This. Okay. And then, hey, my friend, replace with collect. Boom. What is this? Stream filter by service. Subscribe by service and project is present. I can put more inside, really. I just need the boolean, right? Out of it. So why not extracting that part completely? What does that mean? It means has subscribed projects, subscribed services. All right, in line with the second function. So find by service and projects filter is present. That's the only thing that I need to see that it has subscribed services, nothing more. Okay, wow. So user services and then subscribed services, subscribed user services. And now someone would say a filter for subscribed. Correct? Yeah, I know, to list, yes. Different value for false is, I think that's the cleanest. If it's subscribed, it's present. That's it. Right? Good. What else? Some would say delete this. Do it in one shot. Perhaps, if you insist. So subscribe service, I could put it there and delete this part. Okay. And then what? And then the last part that happens over here is instantiation of the DTOs based on the services and sending those with the project user get role name. Now, to take baby steps, very important point in this exercise, take baby steps. Admin is here. In the branch that I'm looking at, admin is the role. So I can safely replace this here. I think you all see where I'm going over here, right? This call is now, is it different? DTO, let's just rename this. And this is, come on, IntelliJ, come on, Mac, fine, it's the same thing. So you see, the construction of the DTO and the sending of these things is the same up and above. Let's extract this. Exactly, create the DTO, but not DTO list. Not the DTO list. I want to extract what out? Not DTOs, I want to start the services. At some stage in the processing, there is a stream of services here, and here there is a list of services. That then they will be send user to service on create. So look what I will do. I will split the stream here. I will say here collect to list and then stream again. And you wonder, what the heck are you doing? But then I will take this part out and I will say, what to call them the same services. No. Am I right? Yes, this part. Variable. Services to, what am I doing? To send. Services to send here and here. Services to send here. And then comes the last part, which I say, I construct the list and I send. I construct the list and I send. I'm tempted now to go back to a for, honestly, here, just for a second. Stream, a loop. Let's do that first. Technically, you know, what happens over here in this section is the same with what happens over here in this section, just that one uses functional programming to construct the DTOs in one shot, the other one uses the imperative style looping through, right? You should convert one to another, right? So let me convert this from here in the same, but I won't copy paste the code because it's too risky. I want to take baby steps. So the same steps. List of project service DTOs equal. I will type code just to make sure I don't break stuff. Okay, DTOs, add DTO, right? And then this out, and on the DTOs, I will type for, and here I move this inside. And this can be contracted by IntelliJ to a collect. You could probably, many of you would be faster than me on this, but I would like to take it super slow, just in case I'm tired and I don't have, yeah. Okay, and then this can be made the for each if you want, but that's another story. This is identical to this. Let me prove that by checking with IntelliJ. I will try to extract a method. If the method is extracted and IntelliJ says it's identical, then I didn't miss a thing, right? So I want to double check. I want to use IntelliJ to check the syntax, that it's the same, right? Splitting streams is what the Ghostbusters did. Splitting streams, it's very often helps reading the code better. Now, if this is like that, I can just move it out. I think it's obvious. It's the same thing, right? It's just that I had to compute services to send in two ways. Services to send, I will define as a variable before the for, and then I will not define it inside, like this. Now, this can be improved even more. By the way, this is actually never used. Yes, it's just a remnant of what was there. Good. If you want to take this step further, I would say extract this if to another language. Now, I had the honor to to basically discuss Kotlin in the past several groups. So in Kotlin, it's like equals if. But even in Kotlin, I would suggest this should be extracted in the method. So what's that? What's that? How would you call that? Get services to send. Get services to send. But it works. What am I trying to do? If I extract this out, I can just early return the stuff without having this variable. Determine services to send. Why not? Determine services to send. Right. And then I can go here and say this return can be moved up wherever these were assigned. So move return closer to computation. Done. So if you are admin, then project services equal this. Can I just inline this? Maybe. I get the project services by project ID. I filter to be subscribed. Nice. And then I get the service on them and I build it in list. Fine. If you are not an admin, the service find or stream, I have to have the project user having that service. Good. And then I filter, and for that service, if it's subscribed, then I collect it into a list. Right? You can invert the if. It doesn't help inverting the if here. No. But it's just like every function has what? Indentation maximum 1, basically. Else can be deleted. Yes, but they are equally heavy. I won't delete that else because they are equally heavy. You delete the else when the if is a guard condition, throwing an error or a trivial case out. But and then you continue with more code. But the if and else are equally balanced. So if it will be a balance, then if they are equal, leave it like that. If, then else. Only when else is very large, you strip the else to remove to lower the indentation of the code. You know? But again, it's a matter of styling. I wouldn't argue much about this. User equals find by UUID. This can be, yeah, and this is used only at the end. True. All right. So this com now doesn't have to exist. I can just destroy it. Could do it like that. Or maybe just put it in a method and say send services. That could work. Send services. Send services. Too many arguments, of course. And something fun happens here. Project user and project, they go together every time. Project user and project. So they have to mean something. Right? Project user and the project, they have to mean something. Message action is the only passed further, so yeah. But these two could be grouped in a parameter object if you want. But in that case, the owner of the code told us, yes, these two arguments really, we did bundle together in another part of the code because we saw ourselves that it moves a lot. They move a lot of times together, right? Here also, project and project user, right? So what we can do here, as the last refactoring, I will click on this method, refactor, introduce parameter object, and say project user, and but wait. It's a grouping between a DTO and an entity. Not sure. Does the project user DTO also have the? It shouldn't have a DTO. Shouldn't have a reference to the project. That would be really strange to have it. No. Now I'm hesitating because this will group together a DTO and an entity, and they don't really sit well together. But just for the sake of argument, let me just extract that. Introduce a parameter object, and I will say selected these two. Oops, again. A second. So introduce parameter object. Put the first two parameters, this and this, into a new class called, and that's the problem, how to call that. Project user and a project, like user and project. User in a project, huh? All right. Replace that, boom. User in a project, boom. It's a new class, all right, with two things, right? That comes as a single argument and moves further here as a single. I don't need to pass both. I just need to pass user in a project. Let's do that here. User in a project. Good. Add the argument. User in a project. From user in the project, I can get the project and the project user. Basically, I could pass it further. So let me rush a bit here. I want to draw the conclusions also. This will disappear. This will disappear. And this will disappear. This will disappear. And there will be a user in a project. Passed further. So yeah, I will undo this last change. I will let you experiment if you want. I will want to commit the code in a compilable form. So yeah, the end. What else did you say? The structuring declarations in Java 21 probably. In this system, project user exists with project, and project user can have a list of projects. Why is it strange to group the entity and DTO? If you deleted the message action too from the parameter list, yeah, I undid that. Don't throw exception if we can't find the user. No point in crashing the thread. Just don't call send services if we can't find it. Where is an exception? I didn't throw any exception. You mean like in the user here, or else throw? It was a get in the beginning. I didn't break anything. It just had the same thing. Project user is really a DTO. That's a story for the next episode. What else is on YouTube? For each instance services, I don't have to collect them. Yeah, no, I don't have to collect them, but yeah, you say stream from convert for each. Yeah, but then in a lambda you will call a long method. I don't know. Yeah, perhaps. The code is clean anyway. The point was identifying responsibilities and finding patterns, right? Line 21. What's on line 21? 21. Here, or else throw. Memp. Yes, but it was a get at the beginning. And if you can't find the user, what do you mean? The user, I need the user. Here, I need to pass it further. Now, a good question is, why do I have to find the user? Why can't I just push this query inside the helper? It's supposed to help me. But that's another responsibility design, basically. So what have we learned today, or practiced today? Good variable names. No repo find or service find, or no network call. In a in a loop, right? For each is dubious, not functional programming because it does side effect. I split the computation from side effect. I split the computation of the lists, right? Boom, and then side effect. I split here when I, right? Here I'm just computing basically. I don't change anything. I'm just computing and returning, and the complexity got in here, right? Refactoring often reveals patterns in code. Joy, addiction. Thank you. Don't put question. Behavior in DTOs. Technically speaking, I used to say no, never. But I've seen recently some cases really interesting that made me think. So, question: don't put it freely, definitely. Right? It's strange. Try to make linear instead of tree. Perfect. Reduce depth of function. Perceived complexity, the cognitive complexity, the brain complexity is proportional to the depth also, not only the size of the function. Very good. Reduce the depth of the function by promoting stream map. Alt-Enter in IntelliJ on 4. In Java, it goes to stream, and again to 4. Right. Behaviors DTOs messages. Split of query and command, exactly. So computation, it's yes, this basically split query from command. Drawing like this, screen brush. Limit chaining of stream methods. Yes, indeed. I mean, 3, 4 dots and collect, please. Please. We have children. The maintainer. All right. Good. What else? Equal. Alt-Enter where there are suggested, where there are highlights. Always extract to small methods. Yes, of course. Methods of 3, 5, 7 lines of code. Doing one thing, and they should have a good name. Optional. Never have methods returning null. Pay attention about the formulation null to your dark core, to your central complex logic. They should only return optional, right? The same applies for any validation in general. Those of you who are not Java around, you should not throw invalid data towards your core logic. You don't want to mess with. You don't want to fight null and complexity and business rules, right? Also, helper methods to wrap around some other classes that would make it better for me. Separation by layers of abstraction. The top level just tells the big story. Determine services to send. Get the user, although I would question if I need to do that, or I can do the user inside the send. So determine services, send services. And determine services is based on the role. If it's a role, it's one story. If otherwise, it's this story. Super easy. I like my streams like I like my stand-ups. Never ending. Are you using reactive programming, Mihai? My condolences. Or never use optional as a method parameter. Yes, but that's very Java. Qualified names are not readable. Yes, basically what the point is, the brain loses focus after the third word. Never put names more than the third word. No, it's not a touch screen. Never put variables of more than 2 words if possible. 1 word is even better. Because the variables are scoped to a shorter scope part of the code. Return an empty collection, an alternative to optional for collection. Yes, never return null. If never return null, keep null in a field or method that is of type list, set, whatever. So this should never ever be null. Only empty list, empty set, empty. Variable name 1 is a turnoff. Yes, it's a trigger. What about chaining multiple times the same stream method? Map. I asked you, and I think a little minority, a little majority thought that map is better. I don't like it, but who am I? I'm just. So filter. But there are cases in which there is a filter in there which spans many. I mean, it's super complex with and You might, because it's too long, you might break it into subsequent filters. That's a special case. But map, still not convinced. Map, but do we still have map? No, we don't. We refactored it out. True, indeed, Kunal, but that's a too simple function, in my opinion. The filters could be created separately as a predicate and put a good name. I mean, to extract a method that will tell a story. Is subscribed. Totally agree. Especially if you are talking about your entity model. Definitely. Is subscribed, which is so readable here. That's so much readable. Imagine the alternative, right? Boom. Let's me continue. Yeehaw! Poof. Right? No. All right. Any other points? Any other questions? Thoughts? Ideas to brainstorm? I keep saying recently to my group that if they want to brainstorm any idea, they should join this, and we can have a debate on any random topic you choose, like for 10 minutes or something, and submit a question to your collaborative brainstorm. If there are some questions on the table, now it's the time. If not, I think we're good. Quite. I mean, addiction. Refactoring often reveals patterns in code, which makes refactoring addictive. Those older of us agree. What is writing? Of course. What do you think? What is your opinion on virtual threads in Java 19? Playing around, not really solving any problem yet, but small steps towards a great future. The future of killing reactive programming. At line 28 in the code. 28 in the code, yes. There are many parameters. Shouldn't we create an intermediary object to hold the data? I was about to. I said, look, project user and project. Project user, I started, but it was too much work for now, and I reverted. Project user and project, they move together everywhere. They should be grouped together, almost certainly, right? Project user and project. They represent something. I don't know how to name that, but they represent something, right? And in this, it's called the introduce parameter object. Fail early. Fail early. You mean like here, I should do that earlier. You see the difference? I don't start determining and calling other APIs if the user is not in the database, or blow up early, right? Indeed, that's a good practice. But it depends on how often do I expect this to happen. Is an API that some application calls, some random application, or is it just my web app? If it's my web app, I don't expect to receive aberrant user IDs. It depends on how often I believe that would happen. It also sounds like a bit of premature optimization. I will definitely push this as deep as I can to get it out of this. I mean, it's 5 parameters. We don't need that much, right? I mean, user can disappear. These two can be grouped together in one argument. So what? I'm left with 3 arguments, basically, right? This, message action, and services assembly. All right, 28, yes. So just send project user and get role inside. Project user, oh yes, of course. Like, how come I didn't see this? Of course. What am I doing? What are you doing, Victory, over here? Replace param with query, says the law. Why are you passing this and that? What this is used? This is stupid. I can derive this internally in the function, of course. Sorry. Yeah, all right. But this meant I did not read again the code enough. Right. Do you also do live refactoring for Kotlin? I will start. I'm still gathering sufficient garbage, code samples to play one. I've seen recently some Kotlin code that deserved your attention probably, but let's say, how many of you are using Kotlin? Kotlin. Legacy, yes, of course. Legacy. I use Kotlin. Hi, Kotlin. Me. 1. Hi, of course. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Null pointer exception. Nice joke. Use Kotlin. Okay, so 5 on Zoom and 2 on 4 on YouTube. It's little yet. It's still niche. Me, yes. Me, hi. All right, plus 0.5. Hoping to. Good. Yes, I also look forward to do a Kotlin refactoring. Probably I will paste some code from Java into Kotlin and then laugh of Java when I clean it to 1/3 of the code in Kotlin. All right, good. Java, come on. All right. If there are any other constructive brainstorming ideas, let me see if I missed any point of yours. Please paste it again. And if not, I just want to fire a coupon. I almost forgot. Just a second. There is a conference next week, I think, in Cluj. Yes, I will be there in a workshop. If you want to participate, if you are planning to go there, I have a discount coupon for 20%, and the code is this. Minus 20% for Voxed Days Cluj next week. If you didn't yet get it, Java 1. Yeah, okay, far away. Good. Thank you so much for being here today. I will wait you for the next one. The next one I plan to do on the vertical slicing of a monolith. Let's see what ideas you have in there. Have a nice evening. Thank you so much. And yeah, in the code. Yes, tomorrow. Yes. Good. Have a great evening, folks. I gotta leave. Bye. Bye, folks. So how do I do this? End stream and Zoom.